Hey guys, Rick here. How are all my hair comrades? Looks as though we're about to enter a brand new year. That always kind of represents a reset for most of us, whether that be going to the gym or starting a diet or having a better attitude, or we can fill in that blank with a million different things, of course. But anyway, today we're going to talk about a unit that Super Hair Pieces has asked me to try out, and I've been a dedicated wearer of the HD 111, and I still love that unit. But there's something that I have. You may have already seen some things about it on Super Hair Pieces website, a video that I did for them. But we're going to talk about it a little bit more when I get back. So hold on. Hey guys, here we are about to start 2025. That is so futuristic sounding to me. It's going to be a big year for me, and for lots of different reasons, and I'm excited to embrace it all. I heard a very interesting story talking with Super Hair Pieces just this very morning, actually, and was told that they had a client who was, get ready for this, 92 years old and was still coming in for hair replacement. Boy, I'll tell you, that guy is Rick's hero here. I mean, I thought that was the greatest thing ever. So it made me feel like a youngster here at 68 years old. So, yeah, that was so good news. So, you know what that says? That says to you that it's never too late to get hair on your head. You know, I've said a million times, Super Hair Pieces will get you hair, and Rick here, the high level man, will get you there. I get lots of comments, lots of messages, and receive lots of phone calls just to encourage guys that it is something that they can do, and to relax about any of their fears about it, and embrace it for what it is. And what it is just to look better. So the M101V, excuse me, got a nose itch here, is a unit that is a little more dense than the HD111, but not as dense as the M101. The M101V is different in this way. The base, if you're familiar with the HD111, that base is great. Um, if one is patient with the install and more patient with removing it, particularly if it's only been on your head for 5 to 7 days, is what I always do. Max is 7 days for me. I just want to get that thing off and wash my head, and my skin's really oily, as you know, and it's just. I went in the other night to my wife after I took this hair off and said, "Look at the top of my head." She went, "Ugh, that's not, ugh," So yeah, it's pretty bad. So really, I like to do it every 5 days. It's such a snap to me. I don't even think twice to go in there. I don't have to allot a lot of time. If I've got 10 extra minutes, I can get it on, get the next one on, get it off, get the next one on, and get rolling about my day. But this M101V, the skin on it is a bit thicker than the HD 111. And then I'm also told that something was done to the skin of the M101V that causes it to be a little more flexible. That's not the right word, a little stretchy, to where it has a little more elasticity to it. You know, elasticity is like you can take a hair strand and you can pull on it, and it's supposed to have a lot of elasticity. And if it does, you can pull it and stretch it, and it'll go right back. But if the hair has been overly damaged or overly processed, you can pull it and that hair shaft will just snap in two. There won't be any give to it. So you can very easily break the hair off. That's why damaged hair, you brush it too vigorously, it will break off and snap because the elasticity in that hair is gone. Its ability to stretch and return is no longer there. So when that understanding is applied to the base of this M101V, understand that when you stretch it, it's not going to break. It's going to just return back to where it was. Now, I wouldn't want to put that to the test, even though this is the M101V that I have on right now. And I have to tell you, this is one incredible hair system. Um, as dedicated as I am to the HD111, this M101V, you can tell it has a little body to it. There's a little bit of curl in here, which makes life a lot easier. You know, I have them. Sometimes the HD111s have been, to be quite honest with you, straight as heck. And so it takes me a little more uh, product and a little more styling finesse to get it to where I want it. But this baby right here, with the body that it has in it and on that more flexible base, means this. It's easier for me to style. Today, for instance, I didn't blow this dry. I just let it dry by itself, and it did all this great stuff. And so it means it's easier to style. Number two, whenever Rick gets impatient and he's pulling it off, remember in 5 days, my scalp is like super oily and maybe has started to, I started doing this just a bit, come off, and it's so oily under there, but the bond does not let go. It's still on there. And so I have to be careful taking it off because 5 days later, it's still super stuck to my head. That's where I get into trouble because that HD111 base, you stretch it too far, it's going to be like the hair shaft I told you about that was overprocessed. It's just going to rip. This one is a lot more forgiving than that. So that means this M101V from Super Hair Pieces is a little thicker hair. It is a little thicker base, which means the longevity of the system will be more. And it's more durable because it has a little give to the base of it. As a matter of fact, whenever I stuck this on my head this last time, I looked, and I usually always nail it right on. Well, so uh, this side I got right next to the hairline, but because I have once again shaved hair a little bit further out on either side, then it's time for me to make a new template because this one is just a little shy from side to side. So whenever I was putting this on and I saw where I'd nailed it over here, then I looked over here and I had about a quarter of an inch section of skin, a gap there where the system wasn't coming all the way out to the hairline. You can usually cover that up, and that's usually pretty forgiving, particularly when it's on the long side of the part because you're combing most of this hair over this way. But you know what I did? It was pretty quick in the process, so I just kind of lifted it up and I just pulled it over, actually stretched it just a bit and made it meet the hairline and held it down, stuck it down, and that's where it stayed. And then it was perfect. So that give to that base, a shout out to Super Hair Pieces, bravo. And maybe if there was something you could do that would even take that up to the next level, bravo even more. Uh, I was joking when I did it, sort of with myself. I thought, goodness gracious, I should do this. I could give myself a whole facelift, by pulling that thing, stretching it down, and grabbing the skin and go, "Whoop." I might look a little bit better. That might be taking it a bit too far. But anyway, I really like this system. I talked to Super Hair Pieces this morning and I related to them as I have before. You really hit it out of the park with this one. It is really great. So, 2025, here we go. A new year. Are you watching this video today and you're bald or you're thin on top, or even worse, you're having to do a comb over because that's better than just a bald, shiny head on top? I get all of that. I went through the whole processes of using the topic sprinkle on hair, so I sort of look like a chia pet. And then if my head ever did itch and I scratched it, well, I had hair under my fingernails where I scratched that stuff off that was just sitting on my scalp. Basically, I'm just coating my scalp so you don't see my scalp through the thin hair, and the fibers would stick to the hair somewhat, but it was less than perfect. Plus, I had to keep my hair really short to make that work, and then one day it just didn't. The situation got too dire. I had too less hair, and it really did look like I'd sprinkled something just on the top of my bald head. So that didn't work any longer. And so I bit the bullet and was conversing with a gentleman this morning who has been on the fence about hair, and he is a barber, as I am. And so he had some questions, and we talked about it and answered those, and he was ready to go, ready to do it. And so if that's you and you really, don't want to admit that you hate the look of that bald head, I can promise you this will be an investment, a gift that keeps on giving. So let's do 2025 with a new attitude, maybe improved version. Uh, Maybe Rick could learn to take a deep breath and be a little more patient. I have a little 3-year-old grandson, and he's as cute as he can be. And you'll tell him, okay, Theo, chill. And he will actually go, it's the funniest thing. So it's a lesson I'm trying to learn as well, just to take a deep breath. Things, if they're not going well, are going to get better. And I am just so happy and so thrilled to be a part of this with all of you, my dear hair comrades. You have sent so many comments to encourage me. And in turn, I want to encourage you. I want you to know that you can live life to the full. You can embrace every opportunity, that you can make good choices and decisions that were well thought out, and make a plan that you can stick to, and learn that the peace that comes from that really can pass any kind of understanding. So I'm going to try to live chill, try to live happy. And is my life perfect? Let me take a drink before I do answer that question. Life is full of ups and downs, trials and tribulations. Of course, it is. Anyone that says it isn't is, I'm questioning their reliability about the story. But I have really am one to naturally come from a pretty positive perspective. Let me tell you a quick story, and this is to start our year. My mother, she was diagnosed with breast cancer. And this is something that I will always, always remember. She had gotten to the point in her treatment where she had gone to the doctor, and the doctors had said, Miss Douglas, I think we're at the point to where you no longer need to come back in for any more appointments. Uh, it was too progressed. It was obviously terminal, and there was nothing else that they could do for her. No more treatment, no more anything like that. And, of course, apologies were so very, very sorry. And so they sent her then, my father was with her, sent her to the hospital counselor. She walks into the counselor's office with the biggest smile on her face that you have ever seen. And the counselor looks at her and says, I mean, understand the doctors just said, this is it. We're calling it quits. There's nothing else we're going to do. And this is all of it. So she walks into the counselor's office with this huge smile on her face. And the counselor looked at her. I'm not going to get emotional telling this. Maybe I am. Anyway, the counselor looks at her and she said, with my mother, with that big smile, walked in like she was just on top of the world. And she said, Miss Douglas, I have to say, normally, when people get to me, they are way down here, about as low as it can go. And my mother said to her, well, a long time ago, I made a decision. And I thought, why would I ever spend a minute way down here when I can choose to be way up here? That's the way she lived her life. That's the way she passed away. And that's the example that I want to follow. So, guys, if you're way down here, understand there's not much that a negative perspective can cure. You also can't lie to yourself. We have to be realistic. But I do believe that deep inside of us all is the ability to choose better and to choose different. We can't change our circumstances, but I can change how I respond to it. I've often defined the word responsibility and cut that word in half. And it's there's something no one can take away from me. You could torture me. You can do anything in the world to me you want to do, but you can never take away from me my ability to respond or my response ability. So let's let that be our theme for 2025. I've got a responsibility and an ability to respond, and I'm going to do it methodically and with a lot of wisdom and enjoy peace and happiness throughout the year. I don't know what this year holds for me. I don't know what it may hold for you. But as long as I have the people around me that I love, as long as that God is in heaven and I have faith and trust in Him, well, I can climb any mountain, I can go through any valley, and I can swim across any river. Yeah. Think it's time for another drink. Coffee, by the way. Okay, guys, if you need help, I have got I will do a 45-minute consultation for $85. I will do an in-person consultation. I will do an in-person class. And there's going to be some big news coming because I am going to start doing hair replacement at the shop where I have to date only done cut-ins. Clients, which I have a lot of them now, clients come in with the hair stuck on their heads. I do the cut-in and then I do their maintenance haircuts in between. But there have been some times that guys have come in and it's not exactly on their heads right, and it's not, this, that, or the other. And so I can't get it to look as good as I would like. So I'm just going to be in charge of it all. You can come to me. I can order hair from you. I can order hair for you. We can understand and decide on what color you need. I've got all manner of color swatches that we can choose from. I can give you advice on which unit actually fits your lifestyle and your needs the best. And I'll order it. I'll call you. We'll make the template when you're there on that first visit. And I'll have it ready to go on your head when you return, and it will all be picture perfect. So anyway, Rick, here, you're high level, man. No jokes about that, okay? Friends give me a hard time about that who know me. I'm a jokester at heart. And anyway, so yeah, we can get you taken care of. You can do it any way you want. I can be here for any part, all of it, some of it, a little bit of it, or just to give some really good advice based on my experiences in the past. Anyway, guys, hang in there. Yes, it is. Hey, one more thought. Do you know it's 70-something degrees here in Central Texas? It is beautiful weather, and you know me, it's convertible weather when it gets like this, so I'm probably going to be doing that today and let this glorious hair just blow in the wind in that convertible and make everybody around me jealous of this beautiful, gorgeous head of hair I have got. They'll probably all want to run their fingers through it, and I'm not going to let them. Yeah, because it's reserved for one person. Anyway, signing out. Be blessed. Have a good one.